Welcome to the new year and welcome to our latest 5 best modular helmets video. Of course we're talking about 2025, so let us not dilly-dally, let's just have a gander. So here they are. In my opinion, the 5 best modular helmets for 2025. We have the Nolan N100-6, the Schuberth C5, the LS2 Advant X, the Shoei Neotec 3 and the AGV Tourmodular. Now before diving into any specifics, I just want to mention that all of these helmets will be a decent choice. They're decent helmets, so if you have a short attention span or I'm boring you very much, then at least know that you can't go wrong with any of these lids. A few of the key global specs that I'd like to go over are some of the similarities and the biggest differences between the helmets, one of which of course being that all of these helmets come with a Pinlock brand anti-fog lens, which means that that will help you to keep your visor fog free and keep you seeing well even when it's rainy or very damp outside. All of these helmets of course come with removable interiors so that you can wash them, or if you need to you can exchange them for smaller or thicker pads. All of the helmets come with an internal sun visor, which we'll dive into later, and of course all 5 of these helmets are ECE 2206 certified, which means they're road legal in Europe, and the reason I'm telling you that is because our shops are located in Europe. Now something I'm always asked when making a new modular helmet video is what is the shape of the different helmets, and that's really quite difficult to define, but to give you an overall basic idea we can say that the Nolan helmet is fairly round, the Schuberth helmet used to be quite round but nowadays they're pretty intermediate oval, LS2 intermediate oval, Shoei intermediate oval going over to oval a little bit more, and AGV is quite an oval shape. So it's quite hard to really say what's what, but to give you a basic idea, that's what I'm going to give you to work with. And of course, these helmets are all available in our shop, so if you do want to come down to try them on and to compare them, then you're always very welcome, and we have a lovely tea and coffee.
First up, the Schuberth C5, a legendary touring helmet in the motorcycle world. One of the quietest modular helmets on the market, weighing in at 1640 grams in the smallest shell size. Fully equipped for the SC2 communication system. The wiring, speakers and the connector for the microphone have been pre-installed. All you need to do is click the unit, remote control and microphone into place and you're ready to go.
Well, that in itself is a pro and a con. The pro being what I just told you, and the con being that if there is a problem with the unit, it could be that it's in the helmet's wiring and not actually in the plug and play part that you can remove easily. Now I just mentioned a sun visor and the slider is on the left over here. Now if you put the slider back, there is a little switch at the bottom, and if you slide that to one side then the visor comes down a little bit less, so if you have a larger than average nose, let's say, it won't come banging down on your nose. Something else I like about this helmet is the visor memory function. Basically, if you have your visor in, let's say, this setting, and you open up the chin bar, like so, it stays in that position when you close the chin bar. Is it really that useful? Not necessarily, but I do like it, because each and every less fidget you have to do with your helmet means that you're paying more attention to your bike and the road. Furthermore, we have ample ventilation. Of course, we have the slider on the front for direct to mouth air. We have a switch over here to bring air up past the visor, helps in the event of fogging. And of course, the one on the top, which is, 2 notches. Well, actually, yeah, it is 2, not 3. And of course, the ventilation outlet on the back to keep your head cool at all times. The only thing I don't really like about this helmet, because it is a really great helmet, it's comfortable, it's quiet, it looks pretty cool, there's a lot of cool designs, and it even comes in a full carbon version, which is a bit more expensive. But the thing I don't like is that after all these years, this helmet is still made in 2 shell sizes. Of course, it's the fiberglass, the DFP fiberglass shell we'd expect from Schuberth, but why is it only 2 shell sizes? Maybe 3 next time, who knows?
Next up is the Nolan N100-6, weighing in at 1650 grams, only 10 grams more than the Schuberth. And nothing shouts touring like a Nolan N100 series helmet. I mean, just listen, can you hear that? That's the open road calling your name, and you were born to answer that call.
I mean, look at the thing. Excellent helmet, very big visor, great viewing angles. When you open the chin bar, it sits very closely on top of the shell, which means it's not bulky, it's not sticking out, you're not going to be catching a lot of wind, which is the case with many traditional flip-up helmets. And also the way to open that chin bar is with the dual action system, which means that if you just push the bottom button, the chin part, nothing will happen. You need to squeeze the top part for it actually to open. And it has some kind of retraction system in there as well, so it sort of opens and closes on its own in a way. Spooky. The internal sun visor on this helmet can be operated also on the left side, and it goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notches. So you can decide how far you want it to go down. Sick of it? No worries, press the button, flies back in. Great system, very easy to use, and like I just said with the Schuberth helmet, every little bit of fidgeting that you can do without is good because it means you're paying more attention to the road. Now this helmet does not come with any pre-installed parts for the communication system, but it is, as you would expect, of course, prepared for the ENCOM system, which is based on Sena, just like the Schuberth system is. Now you just need to take out this little thing here, take off the screw at the back, open up this bit, and you can easily install the system yourself. Now of course it's not exactly plug and play, it just takes a few moments, but it is fairly easy to do. Now the ventilation is also very ample on this helmet. You have quite large openings on the front and on the top, and of course the outlet on the back to remove the hot air from the helmet. And the pads on the inside, the liner pads, can actually be adjusted. It has something called the liner pad control, which means you can adjust the top pad a little bit to also, in a way, adjust the fit of the helmet. So imagine you're having a little bit of a hot spot over here or over here. You can always try adjusting it to relieve yourself somewhat. And last but not least, I'd just like to tell you that the outer shell is made from Lexan polycarbonate, which is a very strong type of polycarbonate, comes in 2 shell sizes, and although that is a shame because I do like to see 3 or maybe even more, it's still very good value for money, and it's a very nice complete helmet packed with features. One of those features I haven't mentioned, it's not installed on the helmet, but it is prepared. Now we talked about the ENCOM. The ENCOM also has a system with the ESS system, the Emergency Stop Signal System. Now this system can be installed with the ENCOM system, and basically it's a brake light on the back of your helmet which lights up when you need to brake pretty strongly.
AGV is number 3, the fantastic Tourmodular. Strong, sturdy, reliable. Weighing in at 1620 grams in the smallest shell size, great fit, and prepared for Cardo instead of Sena, which will definitely please a fair few people.
This helmet looks great, it feels great, the overall solidity of the helmet is very, very good. If you take a look at this, you can see it kind of lives and breathes the sporty character of AGV racing helmets, but it really is a tour helmet with great extensive features, such as 3 inlets for the ventilation on the front, obviously for direct to mouth, but also for air past the visor, which does help in the event of fogging up of the sun visor as well. It has the ventilation on the top over here, and like the other ones, of course, it has an outlet on the back to let the hot air escape. Now, if we open up the visor of this helmet, you'll see it has a ventilation notch, which means it actually locks into this place, leaving a slight opening for air to pass through, which is very nice if you want to go a little bit faster, but you don't want all the bugs in your face. Press it again, and then you can lift the visor in a couple of different settings. The visor itself is very thick, reminiscent of the sporty AGV helmets, as I just mentioned, and the actual visor mounting system is all made out of metal, which I really like. The sun visor can be operated with the slider on the left side of the helmet, as always the clutch hand, of course. And if we open up the helmet, we're going to give the inside a little bit of a feel, because it is a very soft and very luxurious inner lining. It reminds me a little bit of the Schuberth C5 helmet. It feels very good, as is the fit of the helmet. It's very comfortable to ride with, and overall it's just a very pleasant helmet, very decent, and it's prepared for the AGV inside system, which is made by Cardo. Something else I really like about this helmet is the stainless steel ratchet for the chin strap. The helmet comes in 3 outer shell sizes and is made from a fiberglass and carbon composite outer shell.
This is the Shoei Neotec 3, one of the best-selling and most popular modular helmets currently on the market. It weighs 1665 grams in the smallest shell, it's practical, reliable, and above all, it's very comfy. And like the C5, it does a great job of keeping out a fair bit of noise.
The helmet is very comfortable already without doing anything to it, but we can actually customize the fit with the Shoei Personal Fitting System, which allows us to measure your head in 4 different ways, enter all the data into Shoei's system, and then come out with an advice for different types of adjustments we can try in the helmet to adjust the fit and to make it better for your head. The helmet comes in 3 outer shell sizes and it's made from Shoei's AIM material, which is basically a fiberglass composite. Now, of course, Shoei does not skip over people who would like to communicate. This helmet is prepared for the SRL3 system, which you can install on the side, on the back and on the other side. And if you don't want to use the Sena system, which is a mesh network system, there are also parts available to help make it easier to install a universal intercom system in this helmet. So you can go anywhere you want. As with all of the helmets in this lineup, the sun visor can be operated on the left side with the conveniently placed slider, and you can open up the chin bar with the button on the front, click it back twice to lock it into place for the road legal open face position. And of course, on this helmet, like on all the others, there is ample ventilation on the front, on the top, and of course the outlet on the back.
And last but not least, the LS2 Advant X flip-up helmet. Good grief, that's a flip-back helmet. Oh well, what a convenient system. The regular Advant X weighs 1600 grams on its own, but this one weighs 1710 grams because of the extra equipment.
This helmet is available in a few different models and also in different materials. The specific one I'm showing you now is a fiberglass outer shell, and it has a comms unit pre-installed, which is based on the Freecom 4X from Cardo. Now you can see the unit on the side here. Obviously it's a special LS2 design, but it's made by Cardo. We have the microphone already pre-installed. Everything is ready to go in this helmet. So if you want to just get the lid and go out straight away, ring your mates or talk to people on the road, then this is probably going to be your best bet because you don't have to do anything to it, apart from switch it on, of course. Now not only does it have that advantage, it also is a flip back helmet, as you can see here. That means the chin bar doesn't hang around at the top of the helmet like this. As with the other 4 helmets in this lineup, it goes all the way to the back of the helmet. That means it's the only flip back helmet in this lineup. We did make another video about these helmets specifically, which is called the 5 best flip back helmets. Check that out if you want to know more about these type of helmets. This is very convenient if you want to be going at a slightly higher speed than average and you do want to keep your chin bar open, because on a traditional helmet, like I said, it will give you sort of a dragging feeling because of the wind rushing through the top part of the helmet, whereas with this helmet it just goes right over it. So that's ideal. Furthermore, I'd just like to say that this helmet has a very nice value for money, and overall the design and all of the features such as the emergency quick release cheek pads are really great, and it's just a very comfortable helmet and it looks really cool as well. So if you want to go for something that's really ready to go straight away, then the LS2 Advant X might be your best bet. All of the helmets in this lineup are of course aimed at touring riders. Doesn't mean you can't use them on any other bike, it just means that they will perform at their best on those type of bikes. And before I leave you completely, I just want to tell you about this item to my left, to your right, the Greysteel X7 helmet and gear wall mount. This mount allows you to store your helmet safely without damaging the inner shell, and also you can hang 3 items of clothing on it, your bike key and also an accessory such as your earplugs. Check it out on our website for more information, and again, thank you for checking out the 5 best modular helmets. Well, that pretty much wraps the whole thing up. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you now have a better idea of which of these modular helmets might be the best one for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss any of our future content. And if you want to do us a big favour, click the thumbs up button to make everybody, including me and the monkey, very, very happy. You can find all the helmets on our website, fortomoto.com, or you can head down to one of our stores to come and see them in person and also get some personal advice for your noggin. Thank you very much again for watching. Hope to see you next time. Cheerio.